6 days, ladies and gentlemen. That is all that is left. 6 sleeps, 6 days. We are back into Arsenal football. The world will be a little bit better. The sun will shine a little bit brighter. We will smile a little bit bigger, hopefully, as long as things go our way. I've got both Ryans in the house tonight to help me predict a lot of different things, both league-wide and Arsenal-specific. It's going to be a fun show. I hope you guys have got your drinks and your snacks ready because it is time to get to it. Yes! How's it? Welcome into the big season preview spectacular right here on Loose Cannons TV. You guys know who I am. I'm the Bearded Gooner. Follow me on Twitter, X, at the Bearded Gooner, Instagram, Bearded Gooner. I've got the real Ryan with me right now. He'll be here for the duration as well. Ryan, how are you?
I'm good. Excited, nervous, all the things, but I'm pumped that we get to do this again because it's always fun. So I'm looking forward to it.
It's going to be, honest to God, this is one of the most fun shows that I think we do all season long. I love getting into predictions, and I don't know, man. I hate doing score predictions.
Yeah.
Like that's not my bag. It's a superstition thing.
Yeah.
I'm not a little stitious. I'm superstitious. It's bad luck to be superstitious, by the way. No, I don't like doing individual match predictions, score predictions, things like that. But this is a fun one. I like kind of looking at the landscape of preseason, the transfer window. What have we seen so far? From a lot of the clubs, which we'll certainly get into. OG Ryan will be along momentarily. He busy boy, getting home from work, taking care of his new son. He's a new baby daddy, and you can't teach that since he's not here to yell at me for doing it. But we're going to start with just some general, thoughts and feelings now that the preseason is in the rearview mirror. We're into a full week of training before the trip up to Old Trafford, but you and I haven't really we haven't done this for a while. So give me your give me your preseason feelings just on how things went, summer transfer window, things like that. Where do you stand?
Yeah, big question. We talked about the transfer window before, and I feel like we've done, I feel like we've done really well. Like I as it stands today, even though I know a lot of us are waiting for one more, and I'm in that camp, I'm happy. Yes, I'm happy with where we're at. Now, do I think we can do one more, and should we? Yes, because why wouldn't you? We can get into maybe what other teams are doing as well. No one's sitting back right now. At least the teams that think they can win something. So we need to be going bar for bar. If with everybody else. With that being said, so I'm happy with the transfer window. Preseason, I've never been. We talked about this offline. I've never been like a big preseason guy in general. For most of us, especially I watched a lot of the NFL. And I was talking about, my team can get slaughtered by 30 in an NFL preseason game. Like, I don't care. The only thing I care about is health.
Yeah.
Is everyone healthy? Is everyone looking like they're going to start week 1? And so that being the main theme for me is making me happy. It looks like everyone's healthy. People are playing, getting some minutes into the legs. It looks like we're going to start with everyone being available for selection. I don't know about Trossard, maybe, but for the most part, looks like we're healthy. So that's always a big thing for me. No one's coming in the season with something, whatever, a knock and out the first couple of days. important part number one. And then, I'm not going to get into everything, but I think we might have maybe saw something with the actual probably starting lineup against Bilbao the other day that I think people will be a lot more happy with than what they saw with Villarreal and Tottenham.
Sure.
And maybe even Newcastle for a little bit, right? So yeah, that's long-winded, but that's kind of where I'm at. I'm feeling good.
Yeah. As far as what we saw this preseason, and I'm going to open this up to the chat as well. Be it, if you're watching with us on YouTube, thank you guys very much. If you're following along on Twitter/X, thank you guys very much. And by all means, leave your comments, get your comments in. We want this to be, very, very, very chat heavy as well. I want to put a lot of comments up tonight. Give, as soon as we get into predictions and things like that, start dropping your predictions in there as well when we're on that topic. Something that I have kind of thought about over the past, really since Saturday, is did we leave a lot of what we're going to try to do now in the locker? Because a lot of the things after the Asian tour, after even Villarreal last week, was same old Arsenal.
Yeah.
Hoof the ball around the horseshoe of death. It's we can't break down the low blocks. It's we're not creative through the middle. It's we're horrible down the left. It's all of the things that we've heard and we've been saying for ages, at least 2 or 3 years now. But I wonder if now with these new additions, which will kind of segue me into my headline, but I want to handle this with you first. I wonder if we didn't leave a little something in the locker that Arteta just says, we're doing this in training, but we're shooting down the drones that might be flying over, center and told me, could it be, what are your thoughts on kind of what I'm hypothesizing here that what we saw, most of this preseason up until Saturday, because there were definitely things there Saturday that we've not seen before. But I think there could have been a few things that are still left that are still left in the old bag of tactics for Mikel Arteta. What say you?
First off, I love it. I love a good conspiracy, right? Don't we all? But to your point, and I'll even bring back the NFL a little bit too. And I'm going way back, but Sean McVay and Arteta are tight. So in the preseason,
yeah, right.
But I'm just saying, in the preseason they show a lot of vanilla coverages. Like you're not going to see stuff that you're going to see in the regular season. Like, and that's for a reason. You don't want to put a lot of stuff on film. Now, I never really thought about it when it comes to the Premier League, but it actually makes a lot of sense, and I think it makes even more sense with our start, since we are starting with so many heavy hitters, straight out of the traps. I don't think, the less that we can put on film for other coaches to study is probably a good thing. So, I don't know if it's true or not. Obviously, guys need minutes, so that's also why the lineups are going to be mix and match. But I can't disagree with that potential scenario, and I actually like it. So, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, he has so kindly decided to grace us with his presence this evening. OG, the Arseman himself. Magic Mike and I had a little chat about you earlier this afternoon. We wonder if your mom and dad know that you are now known as Arse Bros Ryan.
They've always known. What do you mean? What kind of questions?
You know how Magic does it.
I mean, my mom and my sister follow me on Twitter, so they know.
Interesting. Wow. Okay.
My sister has been known to retweet the show. Like, she's done it like maybe twice, but she's someone in the loop.
Anyway, what's up? How are you?
Good. I'm excited for the. All right, let's be real. I'm excited to make fun of both of your predictions and how wrong they are.
Here's what you don't know is what our predictions are.
I know, and we
but I know what all of them are. Well, at least most of them anyway. I do know what they all are.
I would hope so.
You guys, well, real Ryan knows some of mine. You don't know any, and
I know some of yours.
It's gonna be real. Well, you do know a few of mine. I can't wait to see you try to make fun of us for our predictions.
Well, no, I'm actually half kidding because I know. I tried to zig when I think most of you guys zagged because there's like few where I'm. But like, see, I think we're gonna pick this, so I went another way.
I kind of hate that you do that because I just want you like your gut. Like I want to know what you think. I don't want you to be like, oh well, I know you're gonna do this, so I don't want to pick that one. So I'll pick like no,
not out of spite. I just don't.
No, I know it's not out of spite, but
no.
Anyway.
Also, hold on. Breaking news: if I'm Mike Kurz's butt buddy, that would probably make my entire year, to be honest. And I just gave birth to a child, so that would.
Easy there, killer. You didn't give birth to that child. Settle down.
Still, if I'm Mike Kurz's butt buddy, I accomplished not many things better than that.
Actually, I saw I didn't like really read Mikey Hurst's comment. I just kind of put it up, and now I read it. It's like, oh yeah, okay. So we were talking. I don't know how much you heard. I didn't quite see when you jumped in backstage, but I guess I'll throw it to you because we haven't really gotten to headlines. Our preseason. I hate to say preseason. I want to say like the start of before the season starts headlines. That's how I want to word that. But your overall thoughts on what you've seen this preseason. I just kind of said that I wonder if we didn't leave something in the bag of tricks, in the locker of tactics, that because really a lot of the preseason, what we saw, let's be honest, was kind of same old Arsenal. Hoof the ball around the horseshoe, stink on the left side, force everything down the right. I mean, in not fully. There were other things, but I'm saying there was a lot of, especially against Villarreal, against Tottenham, maybe to a degree, even Newcastle, a little bit, where there was no creativity through the middle. We couldn't break down the low block. What are we going to do in those situations? So my question is, I'm not saying that that's all I saw, but I think a lot of people saw that, and I do think it's valid. I'm not jumping off a bridge over it, but do you think that there could be tactics that Arteta said, we're not breaking out the annexation of Puerto Rico just yet? Speaking of children of the 90s, Mike Hers FC, please get that reference. I think it's a 90s movie. But yeah, anything that do you think that's possible? Not necessarily conspiracy theory, but
no, yeah. I mean, I definitely don't think we showed our full weight for it. Arsenal.
Hey yo.
Yeah, no,
I wish I had a bell. I would ding that if there was a bell. I had a bell.
Shout out Magic Mike. But yeah, no, I don't know. I think with the pieces that we've recruited and I guess in a way, horses for courses. And so me personally, like when you talk about, I thought I saw a completely different team this preseason. I mean, I was completely different, but I think what Arteta has been trying to do these past few seasons, I've seen it. How do I say this? Like more enforced, more on purpose. Like seeing Zubimendi be our 6, and then in the middle of the game, while just the play's going on, he slots to right back, pushes Timber up the pitch. Seeing what Calafiori can do. I think with the Zubimendi, with the Calafiori, I think a lot of these moving off the ball and moving in positions, I think is going to confuse the hell out of teams. So whether or not we kind of like show teams we do that or not, it doesn't matter. Because when you're a center back and you're in the middle of the game and the ball's moving around and you see Calafiori in the 18, Like, you're going to be confused. You're not going to know what to do. And I saw a lot of that. And I think, to be fair, like, again, like the example I just gave, Calfury, I think
To be fair,
he's a player that is really good at it, and he's constantly all over the pitch. But yeah, and my long-winded answer, yeah, I mean, I think the purpose in which we choose to impose our will on teams, I think we've kind of seen. But I think, mixing and matching the players, potentially different formations, I think that's probably something that we'll see a little more of when the season's actually afoot.
Yeah. What are your maybe just a couple of quick hit takeaways from preseason?
We're a really good team, and I think that we have by far the best midfield in the Premier League. Honestly, I might even say world. Yeah, I think we're the best midfield in the world. I don't even think it's close. So, obviously, barring any crazy injuries, I really think we're gonna.
You're getting into predictions all.
No. I'm not telling you what we're doing, but I think we're gonna set the season ablaze.
Man, you disappoint your wife on a nightly basis, don't you?
Yeah. No, but yeah. Well,
I had to. I'm sorry.
But no, yeah, I really think that we are gonna, we're gonna impose our will. We're gonna impose our will on a lot of teams, and I think we have signed a lot of players that kind of like, oh well, you can't do nothing against a low block, which low block is hard to break down regardless. Whether you're Arsenal, your Man City, your Liverpool, doesn't matter. It's hard. I think we've signed players to help with that. I think we've signed players to, people say like defensively, in transitions we're not as alert. I think we've signed players that can aid in that. But yeah, no, I'm very, very excited for the season.
Yeah,
and like any Arsenal fan always says, it's the hope that kills you. But yeah, I'm excited.
So not a, how do I put this? I don't want to do a post preseason headline. I want to do a pre-regular season headline, if that makes sense to you guys. I don't want the headline to summarize the preseason. I want the headline to look forward to the upcoming season. So I don't know. I'll go first with my headline on this. Just in case you guys need to change anything, you want to think about it for a minute. And I think it's pretty. I think it's pretty obvious. I think it's straightforward and speaks for itself. The headline is just no more excuses. This is it. It can't. We have everything we could possibly want now. And if anybody said, oh well, we need a left winger, well, I agree. We could do better on the left for sure. But there are still 9 other outfield players that can do a job. And the depth that will come off the bench for us, there just can't be any more excuses now. I mean, barring an absolute whirlwind of horrible, unfortunate, I don't even want to say it. I don't want to. Yeah, there are no more excuses. There has to be now a major trophy won this season. We, on paper, and we've said this, OG, you and I have said this, I think, for the last 2 seasons. This will be a third. On paper, who's better? Top to bottom, I don't know who's better.
I guess
in the world.
Do our predictions.
Yeah. But anyway, so my headline, simple. This is it. No more excuses. Real Ryan, what you got?
So I agree with everything you're saying. And now that you haven't put any pressure on this season,
Yeah, right.
But I'll speak to what I've wanted for a while under Arteta. And I think he's done such a good job with giving us defensive solidity and really coaching and having the tactics of one of the best defenses in the world. But this year, I want to move fast and break things, right? Like, I want us to play quicker. I don't want this dodgeball. I don't want the horseshoe. And I know that teams are going to set up tactically against us that kind of forces us into those zones. But I think and speaking to what Mikel's done with the defense, we can make mistakes. Like we can turn the ball over and it's not the end of the world. Now, obviously, where you turn the ball over can lead to, circumstances that Mikel, I think, gives him nightmares at night. And I think there's some games that we probably all remember that I think that was the game that Mikel was like, this stops now. But I think that we can try to beat a man, unsettle a defense, and not be so predictable. So I think I saw some of that in the last game, and that's what got me a lot more excited about what I think we're trying to do. And Ryan mentioned it as well. Like, I think if that's what he pushes towards, and I think that's why we signed some of the players we did, guys that can take on guys, guys that can finish their chances. I'm thinking we might see a style that we'll all be happy with. So that's what I'm thinking. Just move fast, break things, and I think that'll do us a load of good this season.
Yeah. All right, OG, got a headline for me?
Yeah, I think it's kind of what you were saying a little bit with your no excuses thing, but the time is now.
Yeah.
See, so it's interesting. So I kind of alluded to this. I think it was last show or 2 shows ago. Success to me isn't trophies. I can still. It's going to be very hard. Extremely hard. Oh, I don't even know. I can't even tell you how it's going to be successful without trophies. But yeah, I don't define success by trophies. I don't think this is if we get a trophy, Arteta passes. If we don't get a trophy, he fails. Like many people said. To be fair, I think I said that kind of when the season ended. I was like, if we don't get a trophy, we need to figure something out. But yeah, I think we're one of the best teams in the world, and we showed that last season. And I think this season, it's telling people we're not one of the best teams in the world. We are the best team in the world. And I think you need to win trophies to do that. But I think situations happen, and so I'm not going to completely be like, if we don't win a trophy, the season was a complete and utter failure. I don't want to make it so black and white, because I don't think it is black and white. I think the game of football, it's not black and white. And when you look at the handball on McAllister in the Community Shield game, and to me that was kind of black and white, kind of a handball, wasn't given. Whatever, I digress. But so it's going to be very. We just need to like announce ourselves as the best team, because I do think we are. I think right now we are one of the best teams in the world, and I think you could make an argument that we're the best team in the world. But like, with our second place finishes, losing to a PSG team in the semis, that had we had a couple players, I think we're probably lifting that trophy. But you can't really argue one way or another about it. I mean, we had injuries. They had injuries when we played them earlier in the season, so it's tough. So hopefully injuries, nothing crazy. We don't have anything compared to last year, and we can announce ourselves as the best team in the world, because I really do think with a lot of these signings and just players that have just been here last season, I think we're a team that needs to be talked about for sure as one of the best teams in the world.
Yeah. That will conclude the analytical part of tonight's program. Now we are going to move directly into previews and predictions. And I need to pull up all of my categories here so I know what we're doing. I think let's start it on a positive note. So we've got 2 categories here. One category, we're basically going to pick player of the season. Who's going to be the most valuable player? And without sounding redundant, the first category that we're going to start with is the player that would be most vital to us, winning trophies, winning some hardware. And I do think that they can be different. And, the MVP we will look at, we will say at the end of it, the best player, whoever we thought the best player was. But there could be a player that we look at and we say, man, he may not have been the best player for us, but where are we without him? I did not do a graphic for this category, gents. But Real Ryan, you're going to take it in a bit of a different direction, which I like. It's certainly not an unheard of thing. We've already kind of hinted at it a little bit. OG really just pretty much hit the nail on the head. But segue, I'll let that's a good segue into what you've got. So who or what is the most vital thing to us winning a trophy this year?
Yeah, and I thought about this for a long time, and I really was looking at players, and but then it kind of blended in with who our MVP was, and I kind of settled on what. And what I think it will be one, and the most important thing, and we've talked about it so much already, is health. I think if we stay healthy, that will be the most vital thing to our success this season. And I think it's crazy, and obviously you guys remember this, but like there's just so many times last season where I looked at our lineup and I'm just like, this is really where we're at right now at like the business end of the season. And I know that in the Premier League, Liverpool, already had a substantial lead, so it didn't feel like we were ever going to catch them. But just some of the benches and lineups we had in the Champions League in some of those games really scared me to think about what could have been. And, this is Havertz, this is Jesus, and this is people coming back early from injuries, and it's Calafiori, and it just was too much to overcome. And I think we all feel like we're in the same boat there. And what we had to do, like, what happens if we don't discover MLS last year? You know what I mean? It's just like, it's crazy to think about everything that happened to us. And I can't believe it. So in my mind, I think if we stay healthy, that will be the most important reason that we do anything this season outside of player performances.
Yeah. So, what is not MVP, not player of the season, but the most vital player? OG, if you want to take it in a different direction, kind of like Real Ryan did just there, or if you've got a player that you think, I don't want to say I don't know. Does this maybe tie into like an unsung hero kind of thing? But I feel like unsung hero would be a player that played really well, but I'm looking for someone or something that is like, man, without that, where are we?
Wait, so you don't want my player of the season? You want?
No, I don't want your player of the season.
I'm just making sure.
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
So,
I feel like I'm asking, like it's.
That's
kind
why
of
I went in a different direction, because it just.
I think I know what you're saying. I don't know. Well, I'm gonna answer and we'll see. I want a little bit of luck this season because I feel like we haven't had it, and a lot of other fans will be like, "Oh, excuses." But I mean, if you look back at last season, you look back at the kick away. Chassard did it, and who did it? Declan did it. They were both second yellows, right? And they were sent off.
Yep.
Never happened again. And you look at just a lot of things just didn't go our way, and then the injuries just didn't go our way. And then you look at a team. Well, no, you look at the team, the only team that finished better than us, and their best player played every single game, and then their best defender might have missed one or two games, but I don't know if it was injury, but. And then you look at their best defender, and he elbows a player during the field of play, and the ref saw it. Not even a card, not a foul, nothing. Just nothing comes of it. I don't want to say Liverpool were super lucky and but I definitely and I don't mean to be rehashing kind of my thoughts on last season, but I think Liverpool had all the luck in the world, and I think we did not. And I think I just want a balance. And I'm not asking to get all the luck, and I'm not asking for Liverpool and City to have, a starting 11 of players that have missed 7 or more Premier League games. We had that. Yeah. I'm asking for those teams to have that. I just want a little bit of luck. I want the equilibrium to take over a little bit. I want to keep the status quo because that wasn't the case last season. So I don't really know if that answers your question, but
it does. I mean, it's I wanted to go. I knew that this would all kind of come up somewhere, and I'm kind of glad that you guys both went in this direction because I mean, again, as we said, I already said it once in this show. If not on paper, fully healthy, we're the best team in the league, arguably the world. Excuse me. But untimely injuries, lengthy injuries, severe injuries, shoddy refereeing decisions. I mean, you bring up Liverpool, and let's just take out of the equation for a second that, yeah, they stayed mostly healthy the entire season. But, oh, by the way, we beat them at home, if not for Anthony Taylor waving off a goal because of some phantom foul on Jakob Kivior. I don't even – he was the one who was fouled.
I forgot about that.
Right,
yeah.
right.
Okay.
I mean, so there's 2-point swing right there. I mean, 2-point swing there, 2-point swing against City, 2-point swing against Brighton because those two matches ended in draws, right? Let's not forget Bournemouth.
Brighton twice because the João Pedro penalty.
Oh yeah,
the Saliba header.
Yep, the Saliba header, right? Yep,
penalty. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, there's a lot of those.
And the Bournemouth, the match at Bournemouth, where Saliba, it's the runner. I don't even know who it was, Semenyo maybe, barely crosses midfield, and it's a foul. It's a foul for sure, but I don't know that it's an automatic red card because there's clear and obvious goal scoring opportunity. He was the last one. The player was clear of Saliba. I don't buy that. It's a card. I'll take the yellow card.
We know it's not a red. We know it's not a red because it happened in the very next game on Sunday.
Exactly.
And it wasn't
not our game in a different game, but the same thing. It was like West Ham and somebody.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so it's just
but I would say, and I agree with everything that you guys that both of you guys have said. I am going to actually name a player here. And it is Martin Zubimendi. That will be when we look back at the last 2 to 3 seasons, and I think when we talk about, obviously you got to score goals to win. We'll get into, and I got to watch myself here because I don't want to get into another category. Martin Zubimendi won't be the most valuable player, the player of the season for us. I don't think, but I think that by the time the season is over, we'll look at him in the role that he plays and say, boy, where would we be without that guy? Because
that doesn't answer one of your other questions.
Which is what? What was the other question?
Do you want me to? Should I reveal it or?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. What other question?
Who is vital to us winning trophies?
That's what I'm saying. That's the question I'm answering.
Oh, that's what we're doing. I didn't know we started this already. Jeez,
that's the question that I'm asking. Yeah. No, it's fine. I mean, do you have a player for that?
Yeah, I said it to you. I have a player for everything.
Did I miss you saying that player, or were you? I must have. Anyway, all right. So
I'm so confused.
Martin Zubimendi is my player that will be most vital to us winning a trophy this season for many reasons, but I'll give one that I think everybody will understand. A lot of us have looked back and said Thomas Partey, when healthy and on top of his game, was one of, if not the most important player to our success.
I still think we would have beaten PSG if he had played.
Yep.
Yeah. So there you go.
First leg.
And I just think that is a position for Mikel Arteta and the things that we want to do that is absolutely vital. He's not going to score the most goals. He's not going to have the most assists. He's probably not going to have the most anything in the team. The more that when you really think about it, but he's probably going to be one of, if not the most important player to us winning trophies this year. So Ryan, OG, who do you have as your player for that then?
Yeah, I have the same person. I have Martin Zubimendi.
Okay.
Yeah, he's in. To me, he's a very, very big upgrade on Partey, and people know how much I love Partey and how vital he was to our team. I think Zubimeni's a lot better. We just need him to stay healthy. We need the pieces around him to stay healthy. When you look at him play for Real Sociedad, he's good. He's fine. But then you see him play for the Spanish national team. He's one of the best in the world. So hopefully, with a better team than Real Sociedad around him, he becomes, one of the best midfielders in the world. So he is going to be a key cog. He's a key. He literally is a key to unlocking this attack, especially against low blocks. I think we're gonna lean on him a lot, and kind of going back to what I was saying earlier, how during the run of play he was slotting in at right back. He was playing left wing. He was kind of moving. I mean, to be fair, most of the outfield players are kind of moving around in different positions, but yeah, I think he's someone who is new to the league and that we just kind of signed to be doing all these things and still putting on a very, very impressive performance. He's literally going to be a key to unlocking a lot of 3 points for us. And I mean, that's, and I think he's, I guess real quick, I was considering, for me, there was two easy answers. I think it was Zubimendi, and I think you could have said Gyökeres because you're like, well, we need to score goals. We fell short last season because we didn't score goals. Now we have a striker, and he is in fact a striker. He's not a left winger that can play striker. He's not a left eight that can play striker. He's not a right eight that can play striker. He is a nine. He's a striker. But I think in order for him to score goals, I think he needs Zubimendi. I think Zubimendi is going to need it. Gyökeres is going to need Zubimendi more than Zubimendi is going to need Gyökeres. So,
he needed him on Saturday.
Yeah.
So, we'll move on. Real Ryan, I'll start with you. A most improved player for you this year, and it's kind of hard because I kind of feel like most improved. How many guys are we really going to see really improve? How much more room is there to really improve? But I'll start with you. I'll give you the floor first. Who would you have for your most improved player?
I think we're gonna see something from Calafiori this season if he can stay healthy. I absolutely love him. I just when I'm thinking about when I'm going back to my season headline and I'm thinking about how I want us to play and being more unpredictable to unsettle a defense or unsettle a low or mid block, he just comes to mind every time. And thank God that we had MLS last season because he really did hold it down for us. And I think he'll be a good player there. But I think if we're looking at what our ceiling could be, I think the way that Calafiori plays and some of the things that he does and some of the ways that he makes us look and some of the ways that he unsettles other teams with the way he floats around the pitch and, links, shoots, scores. I think we can see that and we'll see it more consistently. And obviously it's a big thing to say, well, if you can stay healthy, I mean, you can say that, about a lot of people in it, but it just means so much more for him with his previous injuries. And he had a knock already in preseason that held him out for a while. So it's a leap because I'm sitting here saying that he'll be most improved, but if he can't stay healthy, obviously this is a moot point. But I think if he can, I think what we can do in terms of tactics and just our lineup and whatnot will be very, very special. So I think he will be our most improved player because we didn't really get to see a lot of him last year. And I think we like what we saw, but it was just like, can't stay healthy. And we're getting Tomiyasu, flashbacks. And I don't want to think about those things. I just want him to have a good run of health this season. And I think with him in the lineup, it'll be something really cool.
Yeah. OG, what do you got on a most improved?
So I actually this is the one category I kind of had two answers. So as far as like fans go and majority of supporters, my biggest surprise was no surprise, but Manueke. But my personal answer is going to be Ethan Wanyeri. I picked Benweke because I just think he got a lot of criticism, obviously, based on a lot of social media postings when we were linked with him. And I know a lot of people say, like, well, it's the order of operations. Regardless, he got a lot of hate, and I don't think people expect much of him. I think people expect him to be the backup to Saka, and that's not the case. Looking at the 2 games we put at the Emirates last week, he came in for Martinelli both times. So real funny, Mike. So I think there's a lifeline for Benweke on the left, and based on the way Martinelli's playing, I really think Benweke is gonna make a move. Whether he starts more games than Martinelli, that's another thing. But I really see Noni really, really surprising a lot of people because they were so against his signing. But again, I would not be surprised because I tooted his horn. I jacked him off. I'll say it. I'm a straight married man with a child. I jacked him off for an entire podcast, like 2 hours, and then I probably jacked him off some more on another podcast. But so I would not be surprised. So my pick for being surprised would be Nwaneri, because again, something I talked about ad nauseum. He mainly played on the right hand side, and that's when he played last season. He's on the right hand side, and Raheem Sterling got minutes over him. And for me, again, one of the worst signings ever for Arsenal. Is probably Raheem Sterling for me, and he was getting minutes over Nwaneri. So to me, I mean, obviously Arteta likes the player. He thinks highly of him, but not highly enough to get minutes over Sterling. So my bar is pretty low for him. But seeing this preseason, now that we have now that we have a 9 in Gyökeres, we kind of at times operated with a 10, which I think is very interesting, which is kind of what I like. And I think Nwaneri is going to greatly benefit from that. I mean, hopefully he gets minutes, but I think he will. I think he'll get more minutes than last season. And I don't know if I actually said this. Kind of had a hot take, but I don't know. I don't. And Odegaard's, spoiler, Odegaard's not in any of my awards. I don't think he's gonna have a bad season this year, but I think as far as 10s go, I think what suits us, Arsenal, better is a player like Nwaneri and not a player like Martin Odegaard. Now, can Odegaard adapt to a player like Nwaneri? Can Odegaard be more of a shooter and still facilitate and beat a man? Yeah, he does. Odegaard's got a lot of tricks in his bag. We've seen it. We've seen him make a few people. We've seen him make a few ticky-tacky passes with other players. And we've seen him shoot from long distance and score goals. He didn't do it a lot last season, but he's done it. So, but yeah, I think with this team with a 9, I think this is Nwaneri's time to excel. And I think he will. I think he's very good with the ball at his feet. He's got an eye for goal. He wants to shoot, and he's going to play a lot centrally. And I think we're going to play at least more than the last few seasons. We're going to play a lot more centrally. So yeah, I think especially now that he signed a contract, I think in a way he kind of blocked a player that I really wanted in Eze. So yeah, like I foresee us not getting Eze now, and if that's the case, then I think Nwaneri's getting exponentially more minutes, and I think he's going to definitely impress because that's the kind of player we need.
It's funny that you kind of downplay Odegaard because he's my answer for most improved. Part of it is part of it is the injury that he had last year, and I don't know if it's it's like, okay, well, do is it low hanging fruit to say that a player could improve after coming off a pretty severe injury, that he had, and obviously I think that affected his play last season. But I just think that another year of Declan Rice continuing to mature and playing at a level that he just will always seem to play at. But having a true out and out number 9, a guy that isn't worried about, playing on the left wing, playing on the right, like, Gyökeres is an out and out 9. That he's got one job. And again, I also think having Zubimendi in behind is going to free up Martin Odegaard to do a lot of things excuse me, that he showed glimpses of 2 years ago in a fully, in a relatively fully fit season. And just without that ankle injury, man, it's like he's going to take a step forward. I think that ankle injury really hindered that last year.
Yep.
But now this season, I think with the pieces around him that we've brought in, and I knock on wood, fully healthy Ben White.
Right.
I mean, let's not forget 2 years ago how absolutely deadly our right side was between Odegaard, Saka, and Ben White. It was just magical to watch those three operate, in the attacking half of the field, in the final third even. I mean, it was unreal to watch them. And we never quite, I won't say quite, we never duplicated that last season with Urian Timber and with Odegaard and the injury. And I think this year, again, healthy Ben White, Zubimendi in behind Martin Odegaard so that he doesn't have to track back as far to receive the ball and try to help and build up in our own third, let alone the attacking third, the final third. I think Martin Odegaard could be poised for a very, very big season this year, just in terms of pulling the strings, being an assist guy, goal involvements, the whole shebang, man. I really think, again, touch wood, that Martin Odegaard could really take a massive leap forward this year.
I like that. I was buying a lot of our right side stocks last year, just buying the dip, because the whole right side was absolutely decimated. Like, it never got a run play, at all. So you think about that, and we weren't in love with our left side either. It's like we dealt with a lot last year.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. Still tied the record for, most non-penalty goals in a season, and he was always, him and Bruno Fernandes at the top of the list, and big chances created. So I'm hoping if we get that version, league's in trouble. So I'm with you on, I felt like his stock couldn't get any lower. So it's a good time to buy it. Sure.
That's exactly why I said that, Gary. And if Odegaard shows a skill set like Nwaneri, I agree with both of you. I think Odegaard becomes my most improved. I think he's going to surprise people. But I don't know. I think he can do it. I just don't know if he's going to do it. But
I have a question too. Like, we saw Ethan play in that position. And I don't know if Arteta hasn't figured it out, but it doesn't feel like he has the creative chops that Odegaard. It doesn't feel like Odegaard's in danger of losing his position to Ethan with the different skill sets that they have. And we talked about this before. Like, we feel like Martin's more of a point guard, Ethan's more of a shooting guard. Like, what more do we need for our team? Like, do we need just a run and gun guy, ball sticks, take a shot, or do we need someone that can create? And if we don't have someone that creates, like, who's doing it?
Yeah, I like the Ethan thing. I'm very curious to see when he plays and how he plays in those moments. Dowman, I'm coming around more to OG Ryan's kind of thought that he's probably not going to play all that much. He's probably going to see a lot of time with the under 21s. I would think that's how he'll be deployed mostly this season, unless it's a random, League Cup match against a League Two side. Whoever. Maybe he gets a shirt then, but he probably doesn't start. And I'm perfectly content, I think, with that. But Ethan, I guess I need to see more in terms of tactics, because Odegaard, real Ryan, you just said it. Odegaard is more of a point guard. He's more of a distributor. Nwaneri's more of a two. He's more of a shooting guard. He's a guy that he can carry the ball, and he'll distribute a little bit, but he's going to be a guy that you kind of like a give and go kind of thing. if we're going to talk, if we're going to kind of keep the hoops thing going, a bit of a give and go where he gives it up, gets it back, gets a shot away. That's going to be kind of his bread and butter. So I like the idea that we have kind of two different styles to play there. OG Ryan, I will disagree, partly because it's wishful thinking or wishful hoping.
Disagree with what?
The Eze thing. I don't think Ethan signing the contract blocks Eze because Eze.
I don't think it blocks it, but I think it makes it way less likely.
Okay.
Because I've heard multiple sources say that the club sees him as a 10, not a left winger.
Well, but would he? I think he would play more on the left anyway. So I think if Eze comes in, he's going to play more on the not, and I don't mean just the left wing. I'm talking. I mean, I would feel like Eze would not deputize for Declan Rice, but if he's going to play in the midfield, I feel like that's the substitution. That's the like for like kind of thing.
I think he played on the left this past weekend in the Community Shield.
Yeah, I guess let me
and hit an absolutely
change my comment then.
Awful penalty.
It was horrible.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Whoa.
I guess I'll change my statement in the fact that I don't foresee us signing Eze unless we sell everybody that we need to sell. So Nelson, Vieira, Chassard, maybe even one more. Like I just thought because if we bring him in, where is he going to play? Because we already what?
Go ahead. Sorry.
No.
Sorry,
what were you? No.
Is he a luxury signing?
He is, but where does he fall on the depth chart? Like, where do you put him?
Well, all right. So this is a conversation that I didn't really want to do tonight, simply because it's
we don't have
a show. But
yeah.
Well, no. Just real quick, something when you brought up Madueke, one thing that I've been thinking about for the past, well, really since last Wednesday against Villarreal, and he comes on for Martinelli. Was he brought in to be the starting left winger? Because if he was Madueke. Because if he's brought in to be the starting left, so then, but if he's the best option on the left,
I think he was brought in for depth with the hopes of potentially giving Martinelli run for his money, potentially. But I don't think he was sounding like, we plan on starting you at left wing. I don't think that could have been maybe a pitch that Arteta gave to him, like, hey, we need help on the left wing. Maybe you could do this, but I don't think promises were made or anything like that.
Well, I think here's the problem, and it's not a good problem to have. If you brought him in to cover for Saka, and you're like, okay, this has been an issue, right? We've needed reliable, quality cover for Bukayo Saka on the right, so that he doesn't have to play 80 bajillion minutes every season and get kicked for 60 out of the 90 minutes that he plays week in and week out. But if Madueke all of a sudden becomes the best option on the left, we don't have the cover for Saka on the right then. So,
I mean, you could theoretically, that's why I like this team so much, is because we have so many players that play so many different positions.
But I think
you
that
play Wanyeri there. Wanyeri would come in for Saka. Or Dalman. Wait, what?
But nobody wants to do that. Everybody wants Ethan to play through the middle.
No,
because that's
yes. But like if Madueke's already on, and Saka, let's say, got hurt, or for whatever reason Saka's gonna come off, then what are you gonna switch Madueke, then put Eze on? I mean, yeah, I think that's just too much. I think you just bring on Wanyeri. Again, when you look at this team is constantly moving around. Like I was saying, Zubin is playing right back. Like I don't think because Madueke's on, Saka's hurt. What do we do? You bring on Wanyeri, and then Odegaard will push to the right. I don't think he's going to play on the touchline like Saka does, but he'll play more of a right 8, and Wanyeri will play kind of in the middle of the pitch and play that 10, and then maybe we kind of favor the left hand side. I think there's so many different things we can do.
I mean, we even know Havertz used to play on the right at Leverkusen. You know what I mean? Like, yes. There is plenty of options.
Yeah, I'm not.
Here's my issue with that. This is the one. It seems to have been when we talk about incoming players for the past since Arteta took over. We've looked at transfer window. Not we. Feel like they have looked at transfer windows, and Arteta has wanted versatility and a young profile. right? Young player, versatile. I want you to be able to play multiple positions. And it's got now, take it with a pinch of salt, what I'm about to say. We've not been able to get over the hump for 3 years, and we've been that close. We've screamed for 3 years that we need someone who is a devoted, out and out, no bullshit, not playing on the right, not playing on the left. He's a number 9. That's what we need. And now we look at this team from a depth perspective, and for the most part, we have players in every position. This is their position. Can they play over there? Sure. Do we want them to play over there? No. I want players playing in their best position, and we have the depth now to do it. So I appreciate the versatility aspect of things, but now we're getting into, for 15 minutes, I want you to do this. And now for the next 10 minutes, I want you to go over there and do this. But then the next 20 minutes, I want you to drop back and do something completely different. And now we're just way overthinking things. Go play in your best position. Just go do that. And really, to go back to Real Ryan, your point with Calafiori, if there's any player on this team that I feel like maybe doesn't have a set best position, it's him. He's not the greatest defender in the world, but I don't think you want to pigeonhole him into just doing one thing. I think he's best when you just kind of look at him like, okay, go. I trust you, go. As long as you've got somebody that's going to cover for him defensively. But I don't think everybody on this team is like that. Bukayo Saka is one of those, is a player that we're not asking to drop into the middle and all of a sudden play the right 8, while Martin Odegaard maybe, moves over, Ben White overlaps or what, different things like that. Like we're not asking him to do those things, where last year, without a bona fide number 9, Kai Havertz, when healthy, being asked to do different things, play in different areas, do different roles, do this when you're here, do that when you're there. So I don't want the versatility really now, because I don't feel like it's necessary. I don't mind the pinwheel of, what are we calling it, OG? Pinwheel of death, pinwheel of chaos? What are we calling it? Whatever. Yeah. But I don't mind that in attack, because I've said this before again, if you'll pardon my long-windedness. I love in attack, I love chaos. I do love the chaos. In defense, I want structure. Because defense, you tend to be more reactive than proactive. In attack, you're being more proactive. You want to put the defense on their heels. So I like the chaos there. But I feel like we can create that chaos from specific areas on the pitch that best suit our players' strengths. And that's the job of the manager, is to say, what are your best strengths and how do I then take those and amplify them? And it starts with putting you in your best position. So as a neat little summary to all of this, and I'll let you guys both get a last word in on this and then we'll move on. I'm questioning Madueke and how he's going to fit, because if he becomes the best choice left winger, which is fine, but now we still have a backup for Bukayo Saka problem. And if Eze does not come in, who presumably would be the best option then to start on the left, if he doesn't come in, I can't believe I'm saying this, but now I'm almost on board with saying the transfer window is good, but it's not great, because we still have a left-sided problem that we can't create from. So, OG.
So I don't know. I don't know. I think fundamentally we're just never going to agree. Like, to me, like, again, people say, oh, we want people playing positions. Fine. We don't want Partey playing right back. Which someone said in the chat that we've never won a game with Partey playing right back. Completely not true. We've actually only lost. He's played right back for us 14 times. He's only lost twice playing right back for us. But again, and sorry, before I didn't mean to call that person out. I'm not even going to say who it was, but my point I was trying to make was, he starts at right back. He's on the team sheet as a right back, but he's not playing right back. he's still playing defensive midfielder, center midfielder. It's just certain times he has to slot in and defend a little bit, which, to be fair, I get that. I think defending is a little different. But for me, like when Yeri playing right wing or when Yeri playing 10, like again, it's like we talked about kind of the pinwheel of death. Like people are interchanging and moving pieces around. Like I'm really not worried about that. And now again, do I want Eze? Yes, I do. I think he's a player that can definitely transform us. But I've been beating this drum, so I have to stay on the wagon here. I think Menweke is very capable of winning trophies with Arsenal as a left winger. And if I think that, then I don't necessarily want to bring in an Eze to push Menweke to be solely a backup to Saka, who is probably going to play more minutes than not. He's going to be playing every game pretty much. So, I mean, I don't know. I think we brought in a lot of depth, and I think that we, whether when Yeri comes on for Odegaard or Saka, I personally, I don't care because they know the system, they know the tactics, they know where they know the flow of the ocean. So I'm not too worried who's coming on for who because they're all going to find their spot on the pitch. They're all going to communicate as an outfield of 10 and move together and score goals, win games. Yeah, thanks, Mike. I don't know why I was thinking. I don't know why. I saw someone comment about Partey playing right back, and I was like, I need to look this up because I was like, we definitely have won games with Partey's right back. But that's okay. Mike, you're checking me now. Yeah, that's it.
Real Ryan, I'll give you the final word on the Madueke depth kind of conversation here, and then we'll move on.
It's interesting, right? Because I'm starting to, after listening to Ryan and following him, looking at his tweets, I've been coming more around to Madueke, and I think he does offer something that we don't have. And it was a doomsday scenario. Like, well, what if we're starting Madueke and Saka gets hurt? Like, oh, what are we going to do? Like, that would suck, but I think we can be fine if that happens. And honestly, if Madueke becomes a starting left winger, then that means we're fucking good. Because that means he's going to have to take the position from, and I mean, I know people how they feel about Martinelli and Trossard or whatever, but like if Arteta's like, you're the starter now, that means he's having a really good season, and that's probably a good thing for us. So I'm perfectly fine with that.
I wasn't airing you, Ryan. I was airing Mike.
No. I know.
He's being honest about his opinions. I don't know about all that.
Yeah.
So we'll move on now back into the prediction part of tonight's program. So we've done most vital, most improved. Who would be, let's not spend a whole lot of time on this because it's a bit negative, but who would be most disappointing for you, OG? I'll start with you.
I don't know. That's not true. We're butt buddies. I love honesty. Honesty is the best policy. I know. Sorry. My biggest disappointment is Mikel Merino. I think he was vital for us when we needed him to play striker. I don't see a need for us to use him as a striker anymore. We have Gilchrist, we have Kai Havertz. I'm not saying he's not going to operate as a striker. He might. But I think he's mainly looked at as a midfielder. And I just think he's too slow. And I think the only reason why he was remotely useful, again, my opinion, the only reason why he was remotely useful to us was because he put a couple soccer balls, and yes, I said soccer balls, into the football net. So, and it's funny because I think as a midfielder, I think IQ is there. He's very good at making recoveries and the ball, but like that speed, that pace, he just does not have it, and I just think that's so vital in the Premier League. So I'm nervous about him, and I think because he helped us out in such a way last season, I think this season he's going to kind of be an afterthought a little bit because, I mean, I'm knocking on wood. I hope we don't need him. So I think him being my big disappointment is more of just I'm hoping he's a disappointment because I'm just hoping we don't need him at all. because if everyone's firing, everyone's doing what they should be doing, we really don't need him. And I know there's also a lot of like low hanging fruit, and I actually don't even know who you guys picked, but I've had a lot of friends be like, "Oh, easy, Martinelli." Yeah, but he can't disappoint me any more than he's disappointing me now. So why would I pick him? Like he's already in the basement, so how he can't disappoint me more? So yeah.
I'll be quick, real Ryan. I'm going to go, and it's not. I'll explain it. It's MLS for me,
Oof.
and it's only because
Christ.
No, it's only because I feel like the expectations are going to be so high for him after the season that he had. I don't know that he can improve on the season that he had a year ago, just given his age. I'm not saying that he won't improve. I'm just saying I think there needs to be we need to temper expectations with MLS this season. And I feel like because you're absolutely right when it comes to Martinelli, I'm not sure I can be more disappointed in him at this point. There's really only one direction for him to go, and that's up. A couple mentions of Trossard in the chat. I don't know that I'm going to be disappointed by him. I don't know that he's going to still be here.
Actually,
but I don't know. I kind of feel like Trossard, if he's going to be a part of this team this season, I feel like I think we're going to get from him what we've gotten from him the last 2 years, 2.5 years. I think we're going to get.
This is going to sound so mean because I do love Trossard. I love the player, but the only way he's my biggest disappointment is if he's still at this club by the end of next season.
Trossard,
we need to sell him.
Yeah.
We need to sell him. I think Mike said it. He's had so many. Tanner, you and I have been together in Chicago when he scored that clutch goal against Wolves. Like he just finds goals out of nowhere, and like you're just like he's playing so bad, and then he'll just score a goal and we'll win 1-0 because of his like, little moments of brilliance. So I do love the player, but we need to like, and again, it's also sheepishly because I want Eze. I do, and right now I don't think it's kind of possible, but I still have a little bit of hope.
But yeah, Gary, the only reason I'm saying MLS is just because I feel like there's going to be a little bit of a regression this season, given age and level of expectations that he's going to come in with. I'm not saying he's not going to grow, and I do agree with this for the most part, but I think the expectations for him are world-class left back, possibly midfielder. And I think we need to reel those expectations in, at least for this season. And remember, he's only, he's still 18. He'll be 19 somewhere throughout the course of the season. So I hope I'm wrong. I hope he grows by leaps and bounds and grows into that player at the ripe old age of 19. I truly hope I'm wrong.
Because I completely agree. I kind of agree with you. We have the guy he's competing with, Ricardo Calafiori, who's someone who, funny enough, I almost considered him might be putting him down, but only because of injury. Because he might be under Tomiyasu, and I don't want to see that. I know Ryan kind of alluded to it. I don't want to see that. I think Calafiori is. We talk about Zubmeni transforming our attack and just with his technical ability and everything he can do. Calafiori, just what he can do off the ball and where he could be, where he could go. I think he can be the single most transformed player just overall. I think he's so important to this team. I think he just when teams prepare for us, I think, you prepare for Arsenal, you prepare for Mikel Arteta, I think teams need to prepare for Calafiori just based on he's just such a wild card. I'm not saying he does whatever he wants, but he could do anything. He is just to me like the
I kind of already said
he's a maverick, man. He really.
Oh yeah, but that's what I'm saying. So
I'm just messing with you, by the way.
But my point is, I promise, right? I'm almost done. My point is like.
No, he's not.
No, I am.
We talked about 5 years, so it's cool.
Yeah, the point is like, dude, him and Miles Muscala are competing for a spot. Like, it to me, it's like mind blowing because I do have high hopes for Miles Muscala. He's currently my favorite player on the team. So I have high hopes personally for him. But then I don't know. Calafiori might be top 3. He might be right there. Love what he does off the ball. I love what he does with the ball. So that's gonna be interesting. And California can't play center back, but then it's like, okay, he's gonna. It's just so much depth. It's again, it's a good problem to have.
Real Ryan, who's your candidate for biggest disappointment?
And it's not the player's fault. Okay,
so that's kind of where I'm at with the MLS thing. I don't think it's not him.
That's where I'm at. And now that we've been talking about like, who's going to go where and who's the backup, I think for me, and it's horrible to say, but I think Ethan's going to be a disappointment for me because I don't think Arteta will properly know how to deploy him, and that will hurt him. And it's a problem because he looked really bright in the preseason. I thought he looked really good. I'm still thinking about that little one-touch volley he had in Singapore. Like he's so talented, but I know how much Arteta loves Odegaard. And then at the same time, if Madueke is Saka's backup and not playing on the left as much, it's like, when is he going to come and get minutes? And that's kind of one of the reasons why I do want Eze, because I think we can see lineups that don't have Odegaard that have Eze and have Ethan playing in the same lineup where Eze can be the creator and Ethan can still be that 2 guard that we talked about. Now, who's going to play 6? I don't know. Not really an issue because obviously it depends on the type of team we're playing because styles make fights. But I just want Arteta, and this is what will be a disappointment for me, is to figure out a way to get him on the field more. And I worry about it because we were so injury-ridden last season. Is that going to be the most – it can't be. Like, there had to be some agreement on minutes because he signed a new contract. But, like, we were so hurt last year. Like, obviously, we got to see him a lot more. If we stay 100% healthy like we're hoping, like, are we going to be able to see him enough to be excited? And that's my only worry.
No, that's good. That's a good point. Yeah, I agree. Even though I made it my most surprise. I just also too and I think this is why it's my personal thing because I think overall people like value him so high, and I do too. But like, dude, if Raheem Sterling's getting minutes instead of you, man, like you think Martinelli's in the basement? This dude's like 6 feet on the ground. Like you can't get minutes over Raheem Sterling. Like I don't know what to tell you.
You know what, Ryan? Like, and I don't even know. I'm not going to go watch those games again, but like, I wonder if it's just the off the ball stuff because I know in the game.
Raheem doesn't do that. Raheem's off the ball stuff is horrible.
I know. And I know we knew he was shit, but I'm just saying like, and we tried not to play him as much as possible, even though like we did, but I'm just wondering like, because I personally like, I don't get it. And I'm sometimes, even though I played the game, I still sometimes struggle with watching like purposefully off the ball because I don't know like who lost their man, like who let like is that stuff happening, and that's what's frustrating why he can't play because I know Arteta's big on like you have to do it both ways. So like, is he getting lax in his mark? Is he not tracking back? Like, is that what they're not seeing? Because when I see him offensively, I'm like, I need this guy in the field. Like I just need this guy, you know? So that's why I'm worried. I feel like Arteta is so big on like if you don't do both, you're not getting on my field, and I get it, but it's just like. What am I missing? And that's what I worry about.
No, it's crazy because I completely agree. And it's like, because I almost think it's like he was punished because like for me, and again, I'm banging this drum too loud. I kind of feel bad because I don't, before he came to Arsenal, I didn't mind the player, but Raheem Sterling couldn't do either. He didn't track back. He didn't play defense. There was plays where he would lose the ball and he would just watch. He wouldn't even try to run back. He would just be like, "Oh, there that goes." And to be fair, that was a criticism of him before he even joined Arsenal. Was he would lose the ball in the final third and he would just kind of like he wouldn't track back. He wouldn't chase the ball. So like if we know he's not doing this now, but yeah, Ethan's not doing it, but neither is Sterling. So to me, it's almost like it's almost like Arteta's like, okay, I'm punishing you because you didn't do this. I'm putting on a player worse than you. So
that's what it feels like.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's what it is. I don't know.
I agree with both of you. I got to be honest. I wasn't really paying attention.
Did you say what your most improved player was? Oh no, disappointment was MLS. So no, yeah, don't worry about it.
We got what you did from there.
Who's your goal scorer? Go to the next
we're moving on. Relax. Yeah, we're getting there. So. Real Ryan, I'll start with you. Who is your top goal scorer? I probably should have clarified this when I sent this to you guys. but who is your leading goal scorer for the club in all competitions, not just Premier League? Of this, we will talk Premier League in a little bit, but all competitions. Who's your number? Who's your leading goal scorer for Arsenal? Real Ryan, start with you.
You already know, baby. I mean, it has to be. It just has to be. And I think, and I don't want to just think everything about the last game we played. I don't want to be prisoner of the moment, but I've been watching the compilations and the videos and whatnot, and I'm seeing the runs he's trying to make. And I don't even think our players are clocking what he's trying to do yet too. So I think they're going to learn a lot more about the runs he's trying to make. There's a few times where Martinelli got it on the wing, could have played him in quick, didn't. Even Odegaard had a few where I think Gyökeres is making a run, doesn't play it. And I don't think maybe at the time we're getting used to a true 9 who's making those runs in behind. So I think he's going to eat. I really do. And I think even him and Saka with the cutbacks got to get worked out a little bit. He had an early chance with the Saka cutback that he didn't hit. The diving header off the bar, and then obviously we all saw the header that he scored. So I think he's going to be a very big, recipient of good service. But at the same time, I know Kai Havertz is going to play a lot too. So it's kind of I think it'll be, he's not going to get all the minutes, right? And if he did play all the minutes, I think it'd be a really easy answer. But he's definitely obviously going to split time or however it works out with Kai. So it might bring his ceiling down on what he could do if he got all the minutes like a Haaland. But I think it's going to be Gyökeres for sure.
I will just say that I concur. OG.
Yeah, I knew this is one of the things where I'm like, oh yeah, Gyökeres is such an obvious answer. No, I picked Saka. And it's kind of what Ryan said. We have Havertz. I think we have so many different amounts of players, and
just real quick, not to interrupt you. David Chumley coming in hot, giving predictions for number of goals. I like that.
Yeah,
Let's go. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, go ahead, OG.
No, I just think Kai Havertz is going to take a lot of goals from him, and he looks great in preseason, and I think Gyökeres is going to score a lot of goals. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just going to go back to what I know, and I know that we love the right side of the field. And who's on that right side of the field? Saka. Who's Saka's backup? Well, if Memphis is playing left wing, fuck do I know. So I just think Saka's just going to play more minutes than everybody else. Maybe the only person I think he played less minutes than is either by Raya and a center back and maybe Declan Rice. I just think Saka's going to have more exposure to scoring goals. So, give me Saka.
Along the lines of goal score, real quick, Mike Hurst throwing out a question for us. Realistically, reasonably, how many goals can we expect from Gyökeres? Mike, are you talking Premier League or are you talking all comps? I kind of like, I kind of like what David Chumley said. I kind of like if it's if it's league, I like, I'll say 22. 24 might be. I'll 20 to 22 would be my answer. But yeah, I think 30 to 35 in all comps. If he plays that much, I think is absolutely a realistic number. Real Ryan?
I'm saying 20 plus. Yeah, I think that's a good number. I think probably the Vegas line, I haven't looked, but it would probably be 22 and a half or something like that. I think would be a number that would make sense. But it's tough, right? I don't know what it would be if he was going to get all the minutes, but that's kind of where I'm at as a first season. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's and another thing too. I don't know who's taking penalties. So
I was
I know we don't take penalties anyways, but I'm just saying I don't know who's going to be.
I was told Gyökeres is now the penalty taker, which I forgot about. So okay. So yeah, maybe it might be Gyökeres.
That definitely helps.
OG, what's your number there for Gyökeres?
So okay, so in the Premier League.
In the Premier, and both. Just answer both. Real quick.
Let's put it in the Premier League. Our leading goal scorer last year was Kai Havertz with 9. Okay, and we were how close were we to winning the title? We're I would say. I mean, people are like, oh, we lost it in January. We were close. We were close to winning the title. We were second place. So I don't know. I we don't need Gilchrist to get 20 goals. I'm not saying he won't get it, but I just think, I don't know. I personally, I'll be happy if he gets. So ready. So Kai scored 9, right? And we are 5. So if we turn 5 draws into wins, we're winning the Premier League title. So add 5 to 9. What is that? 14 goals. So I'm happy if he scores 15 or more goals in the Premier League. I know it's really low, but like we have so many players that can score goals for this club, and I don't know if Gilchrist is going to be playing 90 minutes week in, week out. I just don't. I don't know.
All right. So along the lines of goal scoring, anybody willing to stick their neck out there to say that they think Gilchrist could win the Golden Boot in the Premier League this year? OG?
He can.
Well, who's your pick for Golden Boot in the league?
You want to give that pick? I mean, I picked Holland. I talked about earlier about the equilibrium, the balance. Don't think Salah is repeating, but it's so funny because when we had this show last season, I was like, Salah's getting older. He's leaving Liverpool. I can remember myself saying it. There's no way Salah's going to have as good of a season as he had the season before. He had an even better season as he got older. So I'm going to I think just every year, I think I'm just going to call my shot and be like, you know what? Salah's not going to have the season he had last season. So yeah, and I think Isak is just itching to move. Now, does he move to Liverpool? I mean, it looks likely in my eyes. So that takes Ekitike out. I think Holland is he's been in the league. He's done that. I don't know what Gilchrist can do. I haven't seen him in the Premier League. So he can win for sure. He could definitely win. I mean, he had more goals than anybody in the entire world last season. So he definitely can. But yeah, I think for me, the surest bet would probably be Holland.
I have nothing to add. I like it. That's my pick. Real Ryan, anything on your Golden Boot winner?
Yeah, Ryan's absolutely right. And I mean, Gilchrist could, but just if we're just playing a numbers game, like Holland just plays all the time if he's healthy, like all the time.
I don't even know who else there is we could even mention.
Right.
Like honestly, and it's so funny. Shout out to my friends. I brought this up, at a funeral. I was trying to lighten the mood. I was big on Chris Wood. I was like, dude, I think if Chris Wood came to Arsenal, I think he would be scoring more goals. He would be in the Golden Boot talk. I think he's someone that could potentially be in the race. He was in the race last season, but that's the only person who else that we haven't mentioned. I don't even know.
Palmer.
Jared Bowen. No.
Cole Palmer's not a bad
I
shout.
He's so fucking overrated. I know.
I do too, but
I respect your answer on, but no.
No, I agree, but he takes all the penalties. For some reason, Chelsea loves to get penalties, so it's just I always forget about that too. But yeah, I'm not a Cole Palmer guy whatsoever.
Well, who's the other name? I mean, is it not Isak? No matter where he is.
Of course, but
yeah, you think he's gonna play 100% if he stays at Newcastle?
Yeah, right. That's where I was at. I would have said Isak, but I think
his head's gonna be fully in the game.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, I mean, and to be fair to Chelsea has a similar, I won't say issue, but they have a similar thing. They have goals from different players too. Yeah. Who's there? I don't even know. Delap, right? Is he gonna start?
I think it's João Pedro.
Oh yeah, they have João Pedro. They have Liam Delap.
Still got Nico Jackson
they still have Nico Jackson technically, who if we want to talk about who's gonna miss the most goals, it's probably gonna be Nico Jackson.
Right.
But I mean, Chelsea have an issue. Again, I keep saying issue. I don't mean issue, but they have a thing too where they're gonna have goals from different players. Also.
I got a name for you.
Oh yeah,
Granit Xhaka. No,
okay.
I'm totally kidding. Totally.
That's not
funny. It was kind of funny.
You made my eye twitch.
We'll move on to we'll get into some of the league predictions now, and I guess we'll start. Speaking of Granit Xhaka, we'll start down at the bottom of the table with the newly promoted teams. But you know what? I'll go first on the relegation thing, and I gotta pull it up because I don't remember what it's.
Real quick, did we talk about our player of the season for Arsenal, or are we doing that later?
We're getting there. We're getting there.
So
we were gonna do bottom 3.
You don't need to tell me. Just go. We're good.
Yeah.
We're good.
All right.
I trust you.
So I'll start with the team that is currently at the bottom of the table based on alphabetical order, and that's Wolves. And I will say this. I don't think they move from that position at all. No, I don't mean they start the season there because it's alphabetical and they'll finish. I literally mean
You're going team by team. Okay.
I'm saying I think they will never get above 20th. Like, I am so confident they are going down. I don't think they ever get out of 20th. They're starting there right now, and they're bad. They're bad. I don't think they're Southampton bad, but they have 2 wins last year.
Southampton.
I don't think they're Southampton bad, but they're bad. And if I were a betting man, which I'm not, I would bet someone that they don't ever rise above 20th. I mean, even having a match in hand, or I don't think they move out of 20th at all.
That's insane.
I just don't. I mean it.
Yeah.
The next team that I have is, surprisingly enough, I only have one of the newly promoted teams going back down, and that's Burnley.
Jesus.
I have Burnley going back down. I won't spend a lot of time there. But the other team I have going down is probably a bit of a surprise, and I'll tell you why. And it's Brentford. And I look at okay, maybe not. I look at Brentford and I say, you lost your manager, you lost your team captain, and you lost arguably your best attacking player. And I'm fairly certain he was top 2 in goals for them last season. And I do not believe that they have really signed anyone to make up for this. So I think that's a pretty heavy blow to take in one transfer window, to lose, your manager, you're one of your best goal scorers, if not your best goal scorer, your best attacker. And then also on top of it, just your, supposedly the heart and soul of your club in Christian Norgard. Shout out to him who came to us. Fantastic. But boy, I just feel like that's just such a gut punch to a club that wasn't real good last year, and they've not done anything to replace those 2 guys those 3 guys this summer. I mean, they've replaced their manager, obviously, but I have no idea who it is. And Thomas Frank, I wanted to like you. I did like you. I liked you a lot.
Guy from Ireland.
Yeah. And now, man, oh man, like you really shot your career in the foot, bro. But anyway, I'd say best of luck, but best of luck catching herpes. I don't know.
All right.
Yeah, I take that back. That's not.
So you're saying Jacques is going to keep Sunderland up? That's crazy.
They've made some decent moves. They've made some, and I think I'll go one step further, and I'll just throw it out there now. I won't spend a lot of time on it. I had 2 clubs that I thought would kind of surprise me, that I think could surprise people. Not that they'll finish high, but Everton and Sunderland, I think they're gonna surprise some people with given expectations with how well they perform this year. I think Everton will finish higher than people think, and I'll go out on a limb and say I think Sunderland can finish right around mid-table. I think they both do.
That's psychotic behavior. You should be arrested.
Okay. You want to place a friendly wager on it?
Does Sunderland finish mid-table? Whatever.
Mid-table. I'll say not mid-table, but I'll say 14th or higher.
So comfortably safe. Okay.
Not happening.
Real Ryan. Who's going down?
And David said it, like, I'm 3 up, 3 down. I have a wild card. I think I would love if West Ham got mixed up into there, but Burnley, Sunderland, Leeds are in big trouble. And I would love if West Ham got mixed up into that somehow, because what they're trotting out this year doesn't look nice either. So yeah, it was relatively easy for me. I didn't really see anyone really getting down. And Wolves, obviously, I think will be in and around there, but I think they'll end up being safe by the skin of their teeth.
All right, OG, you're up, and I'll go ahead and throw the graphic up on the screen if you're good with that.
So yeah, I mean, so if I had to bet, I would bet 3 up, 3 down, but that's just boring. I don't want to do it. And it's funny. Like I should have known you would do some shit like this, where you would pick one promoted team to go down. So I'll mix it up. I think Leeds will stay up. I think they have a lot of Premier League. They have a lot of Premier League proven players, not necessarily good. I would put, like mid-table, like just their neck above from drowning water Premier League players. So I think they somehow survive. I think Burnley and Sunderland are going down for sure. And for me, it was a toss-up between Brentford and Wolves. And I think Brentford are just such a well-run team, just upper management wise. I think that they scout well, they recruit well. They've lost so many pieces; it's actually insane.
And they might lose. And they might lose Wissa too.
I think they're going to. It's funny. I think they're going to lose Wissa.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't mention him at all, and that's another one. Like
some way, I think Jordan Henderson. We talk about midfielders keeping their newly promoted teams up. I don't think it's going to be Xhaka. I think it's going to be Jordan Henderson. Keeping Brentford up. I don't know. Like it's so weird. I just think this isn't going to make any sense, but they've lost so much. They've gotten so bad. I just think they find a way. I think Wolves are just worse. I
do too.
I gotta check this. I gotta check the schedule. I would love to watch Wolves Brentford if it happens early enough in the season. That'd be a fun game to watch. But yeah, no. I mean, I don't foresee. Like if I was to place a bet, I would probably do 3 up, 3 down. But yeah, I think Wolves got a lot worse. I don't expect them to do much. I think them and Brentford will definitely be in the mix as to getting relegated. And yeah, I just decided, yeah. Let's go Wolves.
So we'll go to top 4 next. And I'm throwing it up because you'll see why it's all the same.
Yeah,
we've all got basically the same as last year. And I said to Real Ryan before we started, one of these 4 clubs is not going to be in the top 4. They're not going to be. Somebody is going to surprise us. Because right now I look at these 4 for me and I just say, I don't know, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. Sure, take your pick. But I don't know of any of those teams who challenges this top 4. I mean, obviously, we don't know what's going to happen, injuries, what have you. But I don't see how, all things being equal, I don't see how this isn't the top 4 again. Real Ryan, you want to add anything?
No, I mean, I think it's this. I think there's a few tiers. I think there's the top 3 and then the tier Chelsea and then a very big gap to the next.
Yeah.
And so, and to your point, I don't think anyone is really laying the glove, like Newcastle United, like Tottenham United. Like, I don't think any of those guys are going to break this 4. I just don't see it. So.
No. OG, you want to add anything on top 4? I mean, it's
Ryan kind of just said it. Like the tiers, it's like the perfect way to describe it. Chelsea in their own little thing, their own little bubble. I think it's a big drop. And you look at us last season. We had so many. I don't think people understand how many injuries we had. We had so many. We had Raheem Sterling playing like meaningful minutes. We had so many injuries, and we finished 2nd place. So many injuries. And I think the same could be said for Liverpool and City. I think if they get some of our injury problems that we had last season, I don't foresee them dropping out of the top 4. I knew City were out of the top 4 for a while. I just don't. Again, we talk about how, it's all the same. So obviously this isn't going to be the way. And I said something to one of my friends earlier today, and I was just like, this season feels so weird to me. All the top clubs made very big changes, very big signings. and I just don't. I don't see. I don't really see where the parity is. I don't see the dark horse. I don't see a team that's really gonna like. I mean, that's the whole point. They come out of nowhere and they surprise you. I don't know. I just can't fathom this being a crazy season. I can't. Crazy in the fact that one of these 4 teams is not in the top 4. I mean, you can make a case for Chelsea, I guess, but again, who's going to challenge them? Newcastle without Isak? Like, I don't know.
Well, speaking of who could challenge, we'll go to the next 3, the European, the last of the European places. Real Ryan, I'll let you go first if you've got your answers there. I'll let you take it, and in no particular order.
Yeah, so. I looked at the league and I'm trying to think of teams who could come like upset the apple cart, but I still think even though Isak's being annoying, I still think Newcastle has a good enough team. And if they replace him or add, or I don't know, they might get Nico, Jack. I don't know what they're going to do if it gets nasty and he doesn't play or something weird, but I'm assuming he'll play. And I still think they have a great midfield, good defense. So Newcastle will be there, I think. I think Villa will be there. And then unfortunately, I mean, if that works, Sesko, and Cunha is kind of crazy. Like, I think that's like the outcomes of that are really wild. I don't know. It could be horrible, which I hope, but it could actually be good. And if they maybe can get a few more signings in that help their midfield and defense, then they might be onto something if that front 3 is going to be any good. So that's one that I'm looking at.
The back 4 in the midfield for them are just so bad.
It's so
bad.
It's really,
I mean, it's, you want to talk about building a team the wrong way. I mean, they're just trying to outscore everybody, and they're not going to do it. They're just not. I'll throw mine in there. I've got Aston Villa as well, and I've got Newcastle as well, and I agree with the tier thing, by the way, as well. I don't know if I said that before, but Villa are just. I think they're just a very. OG, you said that Brentford, upper management wise, are a very well run club. I think the same thing of Aston Villa, and I think Unai Emery has found his spot now. I think they're a very well coached, well managed side, and he's going to know what to do to keep them competitive this season. They're going to be in the conversation. I think Newcastle and Villa will be in the conversation for top 4 for a little while. Obviously, the separation of the tiers won't happen until, November, December-ish. We'll start to see some separation, I think. But you just don't have enough games played and opportunities for points gained or dropped, to really create that separation that we talk about. But I do have a dark horse here because I just don't trust anyone else. And I racked my brain for this. Racked it. And I'm like,
this is your specialty.
I just don't, because I don't trust anyone else. And I'm like, I just said how I feel about United. Their midfield and their defense and their goalkeeping stink. Their attack will be something, but there's just no possible way that I don't know that they really do much better than they did last year. I think they finished bottom half of the table again. Maybe not. What were they, 16?
Ooh, you want to make a wager here? Who finishes hot? Who do you think finishes higher, Sunderland or Man U? You want to put your money where your mouth is. This is it right here. That's great.
I would say
crazy.
I think that I would probably say United. I probably would say I think United would finish higher than them. The lot up the road. Do we think they have it? I don't like him now, but I like Thomas Frank as a manager. I think he's going to do good things up there. As much as I hate saying that right now, but I just don't see. I don't see them being able to crack. I don't know that they crack the top 10. They're at least 2 transfer windows away from being a team that is going to be that's going to be that good again. So to put it to bed, I really thought, and the only team that I kept coming back to was Bournemouth. There's just
Mike
there's
would be so happy with you right now.
There's something there for them with their manager as well, and you know, I know that they lost Kirkez,
Hoyson.
Right, Hoyson. Keep forgetting about him. He was so like it was like May. I feel like it was last year when he signed for Madrid. But there's something about him that I kind of like, and I think they've got a legitimate chance to. I don't think if I had to put them in order, probably Newcastle 5, Villa 6, and I would say Bournemouth 7. So that's my next 3. And I kind of feel like they're a plucky little club. I could, you know, what's the Michael B. Jordan creed? He's a minority owner for them, and
Sure.
So I don't know. I like him as an actor. I could get behind that.
At least they get to keep Semenyo. You know what I mean? It wasn't.
Yeah.
I mean, they got ravaged, but it wasn't. It could have been way worse, right? So.
OG, you're up.
Yeah. Well, I remember who I picked.
I can put it up on the. I'll put it up on the screen. Here.
All right. Well, yeah. I'm
so 2 of them we all agree on.
Yeah. For me, those 2 were easy.
Yeah.
It's funny because I don't think Villa got that much better, but they still have like Leon Bailey. I think like Watkins has like a season or 2 left in him.
Morgan Rogers.
Morgan Rogers. I think they're going to compete. I don't think they're going to.
They didn't get any better.
Yeah.
But they didn't get any worse.
They're still a team that they're not going to give us problems, but I still think they're a team that'll
bite your tongue.
I was like,
I think they can give, like a City or Liverpool to drop points. Fuck me Martinez. So I don't really care about Villa, but which I thought he was being sold to Saudi Arabia, but apparently not. So apparently he's still going to be in the team. And then like Ryan said with Newcastle, if they don't have Isak, they still have a good midfield, a solid defense. I think Eddie Howe's a pretty decent manager. I think they'll be flirting with the top. And then I just picked Brighton just because I just didn't I went down the list of all the teams, all the other teams.
You just gave me crap for doing the same thing.
Doing what? No, I gave you crap because you picked Bournemouth. Not because it's the same thing. I think Bournemouth defensively got decimated. And
they did.
I think they're going to be in a world of hurt. I don't
not changing my answer. You're right. I'm not changing my answer.
I'm not going to say this, but I almost want to say Bournemouth finished bottom half of the table. I don't really foresee Bournemouth doing what they did last season.
Listen, I wouldn't be stunned if they didn't finish in the top
half of the table. No.
I'm just.
But yeah, I mean, it's like you look at them, you look at Forest, who again, Forest lost a lot of players. I don't see Forest kind of repeating their success. And then you look at the two left of the big 6. I think Tottenham tremendously improved. They have a new manager. They have a couple, kudos, a couple decent pieces, but like you forget they they were the team that finished right above the relegation line.
Yep.
They're the team that finished 17th. Yep. So it's like, cool, you made all the right moves. You made this team better. You made yourselves a lot better. But like from 17th to top 7, no. I don't think that jump is going to happen. It could, though. I think if there's one team out of that group, I think it can be them, but I think it's a lot. And Man U, they've always been, to me, is Picasso the right painter? Where it's like it looks all distorted and shit. Where you just like mix and match like things and hope they work out. That's United. They're just they don't know what they're doing. They don't know how to build a team. They don't know how to spend their money. They just go, oh, you're good, cool, we're gonna buy you. I really don't see this United team. Will they be better than last season? Yeah, not that that's hard to do. They again, same as Tottenham, like but not much better.
If they get much worse, they're gonna be in the Premier League.
Yeah. No, but I mean, Sesko is gonna be big. I think Sesko is gonna be huge for them, whether he works out or not. Because if he doesn't work out. I don't, dude. They're gonna be where they were last season, and we're gonna be making fun of them because besides that, like Cunha and Buemo, like it's like I don't know. I don't like like I say Picasso, but almost like when you see those in the '90s, those ransom letters where like they cut and pasted letters from the magazines. That's literally United's. That's United squad, and they had problems last year with their manager.
It's funny because I kind of feel like that's how their players are going to feel. They're being held ransom, held for ransom.
But yes, I can't in good conscience put Man U or Tottenham in the conversation because like I think Tottenham's doing positive things. I don't really like. I guess like on paper, Man U is, but again, it's like a ransom letter. Like
it's very random. There doesn't seem to be
and
Amorim doesn't seem to have a structure that he wants an idea of what he wants to do. And it almost feels like he's not involved in their transfer strategy whatsoever.
And I also just I despise Bruno Fernandes with the passion of 1,000 suns. Could be my most hated Premier League player currently in the league.
I'm going to have to find a new most hated Premier League player because my most hated Premier League player now plays for a team in this country.
Oh, really? He was your most hated? That's crazy.
Oh, it's
but again, and that's the thing. And that's the thing too. Tottenham got a lot better. They lost probably their best playmaker and their best goal scorer. So that's going to be interesting to see how they handle that. But yeah, no, like I hate Bruno Fernandes, and I think, and people say he's their best player, which maybe, but well, no, not maybe. I don't think so. I think he's holding them back. I think the fact that he's the captain is absolute insanity. You know, you kind of talked about it earlier. He kind of does what he wants. He goes where he wants. He's just a nasty person.
I'm sorry.
No, but you see him on the pitch. He's just dirty.
I know it. It was just funny.
Yeah, the way
it just came across like it was
like a disapproving mom almost.
Yeah, right. You're just
so
such a nasty player. You have to be so mean and nasty all the time.
Yeah, no, I think him being the captain is absolutely like he's the leading example for United. Is like it's just crazy. He gets sent off like so much, and he does even more shit than he doesn't even get carded for. Like, I think his baggage outweighs his skill. So I think he's gonna keep this team not doing too well. But we'll see. And then I just was like, okay, Brighton, cool. They're left, and it's funny because I think they're getting older, and I think that's going to be a problem. Age is an issue for them, and usually they're the team that like recruits well and finds young talent and incorporates them. So I'm just hoping that they have young talent that they found, and they're going to put him in because like as much as I absolutely adore, which talk about most hated Premier League player. Probably my most loved Premier League player, not on Arsenal, that guy Danny Welbeck. Maybe that's not true either, but he's one of my most loved non-Arsenal players. But he's still doing it, so I give him credit. But he's old. Was he like 32? He's got to be old. He's got to be up there in age. So I just was like, fuck it, give me Brighton.
So we got about 12 minutes left. So let's get to our most valuable Arsenal player this season, player of the year, whatever you want to say. I think this guy, I'll go first. I think this guy just every year, he's just going to continue to get better until he hits that age, whatever it might be. And I don't even know, he strikes me as a kind of player that might play till he's 45. He might be the Tom Brady of rest of the world football. But he's just so good all the time. Declan Rice will be my prediction for player of the year. Maybe low hanging fruit. I'm not trying to blow people away with some random, it's not going to be David Raya. Although last year probably could have been, to be honest. Real quick,
I think it was my player of the season last year.
David Chumley, thank you very much for being here. Good stuff in the chat, man. Thank you for all the interaction. Please drop a subscription to the channel if you aren't already. Like the video as well. We would appreciate it. Have a good night at work, my friend. Thank you very much. But yeah, so that Declan Rice will be my player of the year for Arsenal. Real Ryan, what you got?
It's B. It's Bukayo. Now I want everyone to remember, before he got hurt, 9 goals, 13 assists in all comps before he got hurt. So I thought he was absolutely going to just rip the league apart before his injury in December. So I think with Ben White back, we all, well, not all, but BG and I bought some Martin Odegaard stock. So we're thinking Saka guard could be back. And then we got Victor Gyökeres. I'm thinking Saka's going to do a 15-20 this year. I think we're going to see 15 goals and over 20 assists in the Premier League. And I know he might get pulled off penalties. That's okay. I feel like I like the way that we're trying to play faster. It seems like we're trying to, get out of that our dreaded horseshoe of death. And I think he's going to have an absolutely insane season. So I'm going with Bukayo.
Certainly not a bad pick, OG.
So
don't do it. Just don't do it.
What? Don't do what?
Try to change your answer now.
Well, no. Well, I'm not. I want to, but I'm not.
Why?
I'm good. Let me fucking talk. So when we were talking about when I saw the awards, I saw highest goal scorer and player of the season. I was like, okay. I was like, damn. I was like, I don't want to pick Gyökeres. That's boring. So I was like, okay, well, but I also have reasoning of why I do believe it can be Saka. But I was like, but if Saka's the highest goal scorer on this team, he's got to be the player of the season. There's no way around it. And if he's scoring the most goals and we're winning and we're doing big things, how is Bukayo Saka not the player of the season? But I was like, I don't want to give Saka both awards. So that's just how I'm just weird like that. So I give it Declan Rice. Yeah, I mean, everything you said, BG, he's just, I mean, such a huge signing for us 2 seasons ago. And he's just been consistent every game. And I think something that I see that I hope, I don't know. It's he just does stuff off the ball and he's a workhorse. And even before his 2 free kick goals for Real Madrid, I was like, yeah, he's all right. He's fine. He's having an okay season. But him putting again, I mean, I guess we could say it's almost like the El Neni thing. Him just constantly putting up 6s and 7s last season was just whatever. He works hard. He's got a good engine, and he's everywhere. And he allows other players to do whatever. I mean, you talk about the preseason game with Athletic Bilbao or Athletic Club, and him and Zubimendi were kind of playing a double pivot for a while, and Rice was kind of just running around like a crazy person, just unlocking Zubimendi and letting Zubimendi do all this stuff. And people praise Zubimendi and people gave Zubimendi the man of the match award a lot. All I saw was Zubimendi is so good, and he rightfully was. But I think a lot of it was because of Declan Rice, and I think Declan Rice is going to let a lot of players shine this season, and Declan Rice is going to put in a lot of work to make players like Gyökeres, players like Zubimendi, players like Saka shine. And so will Rice end up being my unsung hero at the end of the season? Yeah, maybe, but he's just so good. And for me, I think I'm going to give him player. I think he's going to be player of the season. He's going to be that pivotal to our success.
Love it.
Yeah, I at the end of the day, I just think that you said consistent, and that's the best way that I can think of to put it, is consistency for him is just off the charts. It really is. It's just constant with him. Excuse me. So I guess the only thing now left to do is to give you all the moment you've all been waiting for. Champion of the Premier League this season. And it's not who you think. I will tell you that. You are all going to be utterly stunned by our picks. You will never be able to accuse us of being homers on this show. All right.
Had I known you both picked what I picked, I would have changed.
I'm just putting that out there.
All right, let's go. Come on.
OG, I'll start with you. Who is your champion this year?
So, again, going back to what I said, I said we just riddled with injuries. And it's true. I wanted to say I posted this in the show at some point, but maybe not. But we literally had take Rye out in goal, but we literally had a starting 10, our starting epic players. We could have made a starting lineup with players that have missed 7 or more Premier League games. And, I'm trying to talk about in nauseam about second yellow cards and red cards that we undeservingly got, and just the shit show that was last season, and the shit show that was our luck. And Liverpool getting it all. And I just think that coming back to what I said earlier about equilibrium and the balance, I don't know if the balance will fully be achieved, but I think enough good things will go right for us, and enough not so good things won't go wrong, won't go right. I don't know for Liverpool, and I don't know. I don't think City have the depth, and I don't think they're going to compete with us in the long term. I don't think Rodri's going to come back and be the star that he was, I think Arsenal are going to win the Premier League, and I'm ready to celebrate. Last year, I predicted us to win the trophy because I tore my ACL, and I thought Arsenal would win the trophy for me. Well, wrong. They didn't, bastards. But this year, I gave birth to a son, and I'm hoping that Arsenal will win the trophy for my son. So his first full Premier League season, hopefully, is a trophy for him. So yeah, let's go.
Real Ryan.
I love it. No, I'm picking Arsenal. I picked Arsenal last year, and it's much to what Ryan was talking about. And I didn't tear my ACL, but I just thought that, we ran so close the year before, right? We had such an amazing, run in, and, we fell, point short. And I thought, okay, we'll come back. We'll learn from this. We'll have, everything we need to win it last year. And then all hell broke loose, just starting with Declan Rice and the injuries and the red cards. It just was a nightmare. And it felt like that season never really got going. I feel like now we have insane depth for every position. We've talked about how we can play in different ways. And to Ryan's point, like City just rebuilt their entire midfield. Rodri hasn't looked good all summer, and then he has a setback.
Yep.
So I don't think they'll be all the way there. And their defense started to look very suspect anyways. So it's just like, is City better than us? Like, I don't think so. Like, they're still scary, but like, I don't think they're better than us over the course of 38 games, right? I think that Liverpool's had some good business, but they got some things to work out too. And I know, we talked about how preseason was the preseason, but, they haven't been able to shut the back door at all this preseason. And is Van Dijk going to just play every single game? Like, they have no backup defensively. Their left and right backs, brand new, bombing forward. Like, I just don't know if that's going to work. And if there's any injuries to that back line, especially if it's Konate or Van Dijk, like, they're in big trouble. Now, I know the window's still open, but it's not. For me, I guess I was really scared at the start of the window, and I'm like, oh, everyone's getting all these players, and we're just not doing anything. Now, seeing how solid we are in the rotations, I think make a lot of sense. And Ryan made up a good point too with like this little sneaky double pivot that Declan and Zubamendi were doing. And I saw some stats that there's basically like one of those radars, and literally like Rice covers all the things that Zubamendi's not good at, and all the things that Zubamendi is good at that Rice isn't good at, like Zubamendi covers. Like, it's literally a perfect midfield. Like, both of them together like round out the entire radar. So if that's what Arteta's cooking, like, I'm here for it. So yeah, we didn't get Isaac. We might not get Eze. We're not getting Rodrigo. We're probably not getting Leao. But I think the whole team, just from top to bottom, and what we can do defensively and how we can switch up styles between different players? Is it going to be a timber game? Is it going to be a white game? Is it going to be an MLS game? Is it going to be a Califury game? Are we going to go with 2 8s, a 10, double pivot, 2 strikers? Like, we can throw a lot of things at teams, and I think it'll make it hard for them to prepare for us. So I think it'll work well, and we have a hell of a start. But I think if we can get through that, like, I think we're going to do it, honestly. So that's where I'm at, man. It's hopium. I don't know, but come on, please. Do it for us.
You guys know how I do. I get yelled at all the time for this one. OG hates it when I do this. He thinks I'm a naysayer. You've called me names before for not picking us to win. And until we do it, I just don't trust it. But the definition sort of faith is being able to believe in something that you can't see.
Come on.
And this is the year. It has to be. Everything you both just said. I'm not even going to go down the list of reasons with the other teams, with the other clubs, with City, with Liverpool, Chelsea, anybody else. On paper, this is the best team, arguably, in the world. I don't know. I look, left wing. If we're short anywhere right now, it's left wing. If Martinelli and Trossard are our left wingers, and Madueke, if there's a rotation of those 3 at left wing, we could do a lot worse. We could really do a lot worse. There's just last year was a perfect storm of Murphy's Law. If it can happen, it will. And I will pray and pray and pray to the footy gods. I will not anger you. I will not belittle you. There will be no negativity. It's all good vibes this year. I just don't know how it doesn't happen. I don't see a world where this doesn't happen for us. I just don't.
I feel like you said the exact same thing last season. It's kind of creepy. And it's scaring the shit out of me.
Did I really? I thought I picked somebody different to win last year.
No, I think you said the same thing. It's got to be us. Why not us? We're the best team. I feel like
I know that I said last year we were the best team on paper. I know I said that. But I don't think I picked us to win. Okay. I feel like I picked City to win again. I don't know. I'll have to go back and look. You wanted me to do it earlier today. I didn't have the time. I might find last year's season preview and go see who I picked. But yeah, that's it. Those are our choices. We all agree that we do think Arsenal will win the league. This does not mean Champions League. This is a Premier League thing. So I will leave it at that. Real Ryan, I know you want to duck out of here. Do you have any final words, anything else you want to talk about before we get out of here on the season preview show?
No, I mean, I don't want to let us go throughout this entire preview without. I had a little unsung hero. I think Christian Mosquera is insane.
Yeah.
I think he's basically like Tony Rudiger 2.0. He's just like wiry and strong and fast, and like he can do all the things. I can't believe we got him at that price. But he's coming and just looks so comfortable. Now I'm hoping that nothing horrible happens to Saliba or Gabriel. Obviously, knock on wood, a lot of wood, but he obviously should be able to get some minutes and give them a break, you know. But I think that might be a signing that we're very surprised with when it's all said and done. I think he's really, really, really good. But yeah, just that I think was a good thing that I wanted to mention. And then just in terms of the season, like I know there's so much pressure on us, and sometimes it's hard to be on social media and not getting mixed up with some of these guys that are just shit talking us all day long, and it does tough. It wears me down too, and I'm pretty positive. But I say this every year, but I really just want us to enjoy how good our team is, and I know that we need silverware and we need to win things, and that is what will make us the most happy. But we've all been there when we've been so horrible and not even looking forward to games. and that was a dark place to be in. But I will always be very happy with what we've put together as a team, and I'm gonna enjoy that. And I hope it ends with silverware. But I want everyone to just try and be as positive as possible, because literally after some of these preseason games, I'm like, it is going to be a long damn season if this is how we're going to react after things don't go our way. Like, we're going to lose games. Like, it's going to be disappointing. But the meltdowns that I see after a preseason game, like, we can't have the season like this. I'm pretty sure, like, none of that gets to the players, and it's not going to, like, upset, the group or anything. But as a community, like, we need to, like, chill and just, like, be supportive and constructive criticism, but we can't be having a damn meltdown every time something bad happens, because it literally will happen. Okay, guys, that's my thing. All right.
OG, excuse me, getting to be that time of the hour. Last word, final thought, anything else that you might have wanted to chat about?
It's funny. I was actually going to mention mascara.
Real quick. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. Real Ryan. I mean, I know you've got a real early morning. If you want to dip out, totally up to you. Not telling you have to leave.
I'm gonna listen to what Ryan has to say about mascara, and then I'll leave.
All right.
I mean, honestly, no, I don't have anything to say about him. I think you kind of hit the nail on the head. I'm very excited for him as a player. I think when we talked about Saliba, we were excited for his potential, but we didn't know how he was going to impact Arsenal or when he was going to impact Arsenal. And a lot of people are like, we got to play him now. We need him, the Mustafis and the Callum Chambers and the Holdings and everything. Like, we need him. And we didn't play him for, I want to say, 3 seasons. But this mascara guy, he gives off the Saliba vibes, but he's not going anywhere. I think he's going to make an immediate impact. And that's exciting. I don't really want him to make a really big impact, only because I want to play Gabriel and Saliba as much as possible, because they're amazing and they're the best center back duo in the Premier League. But
world.
Yeah, sorry. World. But honestly, if we talk about backups, giveour mascara, I don't really know who's better. I think that partnership could be potentially a better partnership than most Premier League center backs starting. So it's just awesome, and I'm very excited for all the signings we have. So a player we really haven't talked about this preseason, in Norgard. I think, I don't. Shout out to Harry. I good guy, but he made a comment. He does Chronicles of a Gooner. I think he's been on the show before. He's made a similar comment. He made it similar. He made a comment talking about how we went from Jorginho and Partey to Norgard and
Zubimendi. Yeah, I remember that.
And he said, if anything, it's maybe a downgrade, but we didn't improve. And I couldn't be any more wrong. Just both players are such an immense upgrade. And I'm just so excited for the season to start. I'm excited to see how these pieces work, and this is going to sound bad. I'm not rooting for injuries. I don't want injuries, but injuries are a part of the game. Injuries are going to happen. We are not going to have every player right now be available for all 38 games. It's not going to happen. And
please don't speak this into existence.
No. I'm not seeing anyone, but all I'm saying is we talked about last season how if we get injuries, what are we going to do? How are we going to rotate? What are we going to break glass in case of emergency? What do we have? What are we going to do this season? There's so many different things that we can do, and I think Arteta knows that, and I'm very excited. We talked about an example of Zubimendi playing right back, shooting Timber up the pitch, Rice and Zubimendi playing dual pivots, Calafiori kind of playing like a 10. I'm excited. I'm very excited, and I love what I saw in the preseason. In every game, even games that we may have not have won on the score sheet, everything's been positive. I'm very curious to see how we start the season off, because it's a big game. We're at Old Trafford. I did kind of poo them earlier in the show, but regardless, it's still a big game. Old Trafford's can be a tough place to play, but and they're going to want to put a hurting on us because, you go back to last season when we played them in preseason, they wanted to put a hurting on us. This season, well, this game actually means something. So I'm sure they're going to come guns blazing. And they came guns blazing last season. Didn't really do shit. But, yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for where we're going, both now and for the future.
Yeah, well said. Both of you, Real Ryan, if you want to go ahead and dip out, I don't really have anything to add. You're not going to miss anything. So,
okay. All right. It was a pleasure, guys.
Yeah, man. We'll do it. We'll do it again soon. Thanks for being a part of this. We appreciate
So
it.
used to having Glenn just dip out whenever he wants. I feel like
Yeah,
we're like,
right.
all right, Ron, you can just leave whenever you want because we're used to having Glenn just leave on command.
That's too funny. All right, guys. Yeah, it was awesome. And then obviously we'll be connected throughout the season. So yeah, let's get it.
For sure. Thanks, Ryan. See you, man. Yeah, all I have is to just echo what both Ryans just said and just good vibes, man. Just good vibes. Keep it going. Looking forward to getting back to Cork Harbor Pub here in Pittsburgh with all the Steel City Gooners. And that's a lot of the fun of it for me as well is being a part of that and that camaraderie and watching the games that way and certainly doing this with OG and the Real Ryan and anybody else that we may bring in. But this is this is a lot of fun for me as well. And it's the 9-month journey is about to kick into full gear once again. So looking forward to it. Hopefully we do the business and keep the positive vibes going. Everybody in the chat on YouTube, thank you guys very much. It was a lively chat tonight. David Chumney, Double O Slice, Mike Hers, BX Gunner, as always. Player Performance Accountant was in there. Miss Molina jumped in to say hello. Gary, Don't Waste the Tweet, was in there. I don't believe I missed anybody. I think that's pretty much everyone that was in the chat tonight that interacted with us. Everybody watching on Twitter/X. All of you guys, there's a lot of you. Thank you guys very much for being a part of this as well and watching us this long. It's been a long one. This is probably the longest show that we'll do this season. But yeah, if you're new around here, be sure to head over to the YouTube channel, subscribe to us, click the bell icon. You'll never miss a show. Drop us a thumbs up on the video. Interact with us any way possible. Ryan, shout out your socials there real quick. Oh, there you go. Yep.
I'll never get that. Yeah, I mean, it's same on I think on Blue Sky, but it's like at Blue Sky. So I don't know. I'm on there, sort of, kind of, maybe, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I do most of my best work either here or over on the Twitter /X channel, The Bearded Gooner on Twitter /X, Bearded Gooner on Instagram. Find us here, Loose Cannons AFC. On YouTube, drop a subscription. Make sure you like the video. Click the bell icon. Never miss a show. That is it. We get underway in just 6 more sleeps, ladies and gentlemen. It is upon us. Hopefully, we're doing this again in about 9 months, and maybe we're celebrating with a glass of champagne, shot of whiskey, a beer, or something. Let's hope. Let's enjoy the ride, though. That's the biggest thing. Just enjoy the ride because once it ends. It ends. There's no more. So enjoy the ride. Here's to a great season, Ryan. We'll be doing this all season long. And that's it. It's been great footy talk. We'll see you out there.